Peace and blessings, y'all. How you doing? This is your boy Gerald. It is Wednesday, the 15th of October, 2013. How's your week going thus far? I've had a lot of people hit me back talking about they feeling the energy in the air, and you're starting to be a little edgy. Some of you may have been a little combative on some of the things that you have passion and convictions for. So I wanted to throw this out there for you. Those who do not know who I am, my name is Gerald Davis. I'm a life coach and aspiring psychologist. October 2011, I made the greatest decision of my life, and that was to embrace my spiritual journey. Therefore, I decided to make a decision to share my transformation to the world, because I know I'm not the only one. So, if you gain anything from the message which is conveyed by Spirit to you, I hope it definitely sparks something to motivate you to a positive end. Alright. So, I hope that your weekend was safe. If you had any challenges, you were able to navigate as best as possible. And now it's Wednesday. I felt that I wanted to put this out because I know that some of you are feeling like you're at wit's end. And I'm going to tell you something. What is going on, as I've always said thus far, is that we are in a period of authentication. Okay, you just want to be on the TV, right? On the screen, right? So, you know, he want to be a hand for everything. You see what I'm doing, right? You see that, right? You know, no, go sit down. Sit down. So, needless to say, I'm putting this out for you. See, what you're feeling right now is you're tapping into who you are. You're at a point in your life where you're starting to weigh the pros and cons without fear. Because as you already know, your blessings are on the other side. But they're not going to come easy. There are going to be some things that are from your past that are going to be brought back in review. May it be through family connections, professional connections, or friendships, platonic or intimate. What is happening now is you are now starting to resonate from your true voice, who you are. And some of you have reached that proverbial boiling point where you feel that you're not being heard, and it's starting to wear you thin. Let me tell you something. We all have free will. We have a brain, and with that being said, we have to make choices which is in our best interest. But just know, as long as you discern, just like Mama used to say, if you just take a second to think before you speak, that could actually change your life. That is very, very true. Now, for those that may be having conflicts with their dynamics of their relationships, now's the time that you need to assess not only your self-worth, if you have not done so, but the value of the connections that you have. And for some, this may be very, very frightening. When you actually sit down and look at, or really just be real with yourself and say, why is this person in my life? Can this person spark inspiration to grow? Or are they holding me back? This is the time when you have to be brutally honest with yourself, because it's about your life. and you deserve to have the life that is truly destined for you. So there's going to be some work required. So do not give up on yourself. This is also a period of time where you have to reaffirm boundaries. And with that, as I've mentioned before, you're going to start to come to see that there are those that have either fall short deliberately or they just don't get it. Now, for those people that are in that situation, a surefire way to navigate with that is not only time, distance, but it is time for you to tap into your spirituality. Now, my source is my Lord Jesus Christ. Now, as you already know, He is one of many names. So whatever your faith structure is for your spirituality, it is time for you to go within. It is time now that you declutter your life. It is very, very important. Think of it this way. How about that closet of yours? And you've got all these clothes. Now, there may be some clothes that you hold on to for sentimental reasons, and then there may be some that you just holding on because of ego, because you spent too much, or you didn't wear it, but it still has a tag on it and you can't take it back. That's the same thing when it comes to you. That comes to your life. There are some connections that you have that have gone past the sell date or the expiration. But because of sentimental connections, we hold on. We hope that will change. See, what you're doing is projecting. Like, for example, if you know that you have a connection with someone that is not healthy, but we always want to see the greater good in that person, but yet they do not exemplify that connection, or if that connection is like this, you've got to look at why they still have access to you, which means you must reestablish or reaffirm the boundaries in your life. Here's another approach, another view. You know that saying of crabs in the barrel, or misery loves company. You got to also look at it as, is your connection because it gives a release to our emotional trigger. I mean, we've all been there, and I'm the first one to say it, that you may have a connection with someone because there may be still something that you may find challenging within yourself, but yet they always tend to smooth those rough edges. Now, here's my question to you. Why does it take someone else to bring you that peace? Because that is actually what you desire. That is what you need to be healthy within your own body, your own mind, for you to feel as one. So for those that, and I've seen this, where it's more easier to go with the flow than deal with the challenge. Let me reaffirm something with you. Yes, it is very important that we pick our battles. It is, and that's where maturity, true maturity, comes into play. But if you are constantly left holding the bag, there's no balance. There's nothing but upheaval. You have to find the courage and do the right thing. Now, I'm going to throw this disclaimer out here too. I want you all to hear this. There are some people that are tied You know how I talked about the soul tie? You have some people that are connected to your life. Some of y'all already know that no matter good or bad, these people are tied to you. But it is your responsibility to define how. You feel what I'm saying? You define that because it's your life. So if you're in a situation that every time you reach out to someone and it seems like all they're doing is taking the position to be toxic, especially when they deal with you, have courage to address it. There may be something underlining, and they're projecting that to you because they do not have the courage to address it, to address the source. How many times have you gone to work, had a beautiful day, and you walk in and you have to deal with a coworker or a person in authority, and they just got a bad attitude? Or more or less, you know or have identified that they've got problems at home, and they're taking that same energy to work. Number one, you got to stay prayed up. Number two, sneak a little prayer in for them. And number three, stay vigilant and stay out of the crossfire. Because there's nothing worse than someone shooting you with your own ammo. But sometimes we walk blindly into that target and get shot on something that was more or less a calculated casualty. So don't do that. Love yourself more. Now lastly, for those who feel that they're not being heard. Now you know this isn't something that has taken place yesterday. This has actually been something that has been ongoing probably for a great period of time of your development, of your life. And you may have downplayed it and said, well, you know, I'm shy. But then you find yourself beating yourself upside the head because you still not only did not get your voice heard, but people are not getting you, and they're basing a perception because you're allowing that to occur. You cannot do that. Love yourself more. Love yourself more. And do what is best for you. But take a position of compassion, kindness, and love. Do not respond with vindictiveness, manipulation, or spite. Because when you take a negative approach, you'll get a negative return, and you deserve better than that. I think somebody needed to hear that. I got this feeling that someone literally is like pulling their hair out because they're trying to extend that olive branch to someone that is important in their life, but they just don't get it. It could be a situation where it is a parent talking to a child, or it could be two co-workers, or it could be a loved one. It could be any dynamic. But at the end of the day, you feel like you're holding the emotional bag. And there's nothing more sad is that the person that you are trying to convey this information to, they're clueless. They don't get it. So once again, it goes back to you. You must be responsible for your emotional balance. You know, sometimes the best remedy is silence and time. But at the end of the day, you have to be true to yourself. You got to ask yourself this one question. Why am I not happy? What do I need to do so I can ensure that I am? And lastly, do some self-critique and look at your environment. If you are allowing yourself to be in an environment that is not helping you grow, then you must go. But if it's divinely meant, you'll see it again. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. I'm here to tell you this. But you got to more or less keep things in bounds with yourself, which means you got to check that control. Because, as I said before, many people that exhibit controlling behavior is because they don't have control within themselves. And you deserve better. So be the best you that you can, okay? And speak your truth. Do not cater your communication just to appease someone or for validation. That's the greatest injustice that you can do. Remember, for you, if you desire love, you must love yourself first. You are the first template of that. Energy out is energy in. And don't you deserve that? I think you do. Well, I just wanted to share that to each and every one of you. I hope you guys are having a safe and blessed week. Remember now, we're in October. For those that follow astrology, we were in the period of Libra, which is based on the scales. So don't you deserve the balance that is intended for you? I think you do. I think you do. So put yourself first, selflessly. Always let your higher power, which is mine, is my Lord Jesus Christ, to guide you. And if you allow Him to do that, not only will His angels and your spirit guides give you clarity, He will give you motivation by showing you validation back. So keep your head up, y'all. Don't let nobody steal your smile. It's too beautiful for it to be hidden. Okay? So if you got any questions, concerns, by all means hit me up. I'm here. And I look forward to catching back up with you over the weekend. As I always say, God is praying for you. You know I am. Stay blessed and protected, y'all. You're worth it. Peace, y'all.